What is going on, guys? It's Mr. Bernie again from Linden Rec, and with me today we have Mr. Rufo from Linden Rec.
What's going on, guys?
All right. Now, a couple weeks ago, the last time we were here, we went over what is acting, what is it like to be an actor, the importance of it, how does it relate to everyday life, and I'm pretty sure I covered why I was teaching acting as well. Now, last time we covered the 5 W's, the who, what's, where, why, and when, with the two characters, John and Anthony. As you guys recall, John and Anthony are brothers, John being the oldest brother, Anthony being the youngest brother. Two high school basketball players. John is envious of his younger brother, Anthony, because Anthony received a scholarship before he did, before John did. We also covered where this was taking place. We covered why. We covered when. And we covered what was going on in the scene. So, what was going on in the scene was there was an argument in the locker room. Obviously, we're not in the locker room, but we're gonna make it seem as if this is our locker room. So another part of being an actor is being able to use your imagination effectively. So to us, we will portray in our heads as though this room is a locker room. So what's gonna be going on in this scene is just a little argument. We came up with a short dialogue of an argument or how an argument would go based upon these circumstances of us being two brothers, one being envious of the other. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna run into the scene, and we will keep going into the scene every now and then. We're gonna pick up some stuff that we feel as though are important to include and things that we feel that we should avoid when going through the scene. All right, so we're gonna start. What's going on? You all right?
Yeah, I'm alright.
You sure?
Yeah, I told you I'm alright.
It doesn't look like you're all right.
Man, I told you I'm alright.
All right. I mean, it just looks like you're pretty pissed off about something. I mean, just be honest, man. What's going on?
Yeah, man, you always in the spotlight, man.
I'm always in the spotlight.
You know what I'm talking about?
How do I know what you're talking about if I just asked you a question?
Listen, man, overall I'm a better player than you.
Wow. You're a better player than me.
Yeah.
This is where we're going?
Mm-hmm. At everything. Basketball, school, academics.
All right.
Taking care of mom and pop.
So let me ask you something then. So if you think that you're better, why is it that you didn't receive a scholarship? Why aren't you passing in your classes?
It's because of you.
Because of me?
Yeah, because of you.
What did I do? Why is it on me?
I gotta take care of mom and pop. I gotta take care of you. I gotta drive you to school. I gotta focus on all this other energy because I gotta take care of you and mom and pops. I don't got time to focus on myself.
And that's my fault.
Yeah.
No one asked you to do all of that. I think I asked you to take me to school. I could walk to school myself.
Mm-hmm. But overall, I'm a better player than you, and I deserve that scholarship. You stole it. You're not better than me. And you know that.
All right. That's the scene. So at this point, we discovered that the reason why older brother John is upset is because of everything that he just said. He feels as though because he has more responsibility and I don't, this is why he couldn't achieve that scholarship. He feels as though the reason why he doesn't have a scholarship and he's not passing his classes, when I ask him the question, why are you failing? Why didn't you receive a scholarship? Is because he believes that he's taking care of me at the same time. He feels that the responsibility that he has as far as driving me to school and always taking care of me and our parents is the reason why he does not have enough time to work on himself. So, going through that scene, Phil, how did you feel? Because I know there were certain things that we had in there that we wrote down, and we kind of went off of what was written.
Right.
I mean, so how did you feel when you were going through that scene?
I mean, I felt comfortable. I mean, just starting off. I mean, we didn't copy word for word, but we did pretty well for the first time. Maybe we could go through the first time what we had planned out, but it really didn't go through. But I'd say the first time was pretty good. But we got better improv instead of reading off the script.
Right.
So when we were doing it live, instead of looking word for word, we got better with it.
Right. I would say for me, I felt as though we started off in it rather fast.
Right.
Like you said, with the improv, it went good. We went off book, which wasn't bad. I felt as though emotionally, I kind of you hit an emotional point when you said, "Man, I'm better than you."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm looking at it like, "Whoa, okay, well, I got something for you. Why you think you're better than me? But you didn't get this. I have the scholarship. You don't have the scholarship."
Yeah.
Even though I didn't say I have the scholarship, I asked you, well, how come you didn't get the scholarship? But deep down inside, that question brings in, all right, well, if you think that you're better, why don't you have this? Why don't you have what I have?
Right.
Right? So it's like, I didn't even need to say it. Because deep down, I know I'm better because I have the scholarship. Why don't you have it? And that's why I asked the question like that. So guys, when you playing off of each other, because that's basically what we did. We had written down a dialogue to go off of, and the very second we jumped out the gate into the dialogue, we just went off book. Now, before we started recording, I explained to Rufo that when we go off script, when we do improv or ad lib, it'll basically be based upon the other partner's their reaction. And so I don't remember where we started ad-libbing, but it was something that you said that triggered a different response for me to say to you. So sometimes, guys, as actors, you may feel that. I think it's best that you act upon that impulse. So if you have a certain impulse, act on it. Ad-lib at that moment if you feel like you need to ad-lib. But sometimes, given whoever you're working with or what production, some people they may be open to you ad-libbing. Some people may say no, stick to the books. But one thing that they will never say is to not act on your impulse. And that's exactly what I did with you, Phil. I had an impulse and I acted on it, and it just happened to just make me ad-lib my original lines that I was supposed to say. But what ended up going down the road was that you caught what I was ad-libbing, and then you switched what you were supposed to say. And then it ended up becoming an improv thing.
Right.
So, again, guys, when you're working with someone on a scene or a play, this is the rehearsal process. This is exactly what the rehearsal process is all about. You have a scene, you have the scripts, you read the script well enough to understand where the conversation is going. And once you're confident enough in where the conversation is going, you are free to kind of let your imagination play the course. You are free to ad-lib. You are free to let your emotional response take control and do exactly what we just did. We just went completely off book because we allowed our emotional responses to take control of the scene. And so therefore, everything that was written here, I don't even think we said anything that was written here.
Right.
But just remember those key facts. And that's exactly what Mr. Rufo did. He remembered those key facts. His whole spiel was getting down to why he was angry. I had to pick at it first. Why are you so pissed off? Now he ends up saying it. I'm better than you. He ends up explaining why he was upset. He ends up explaining what it was that he wanted. He wants the scholarship. He believes he deserves it more than me. All right, so let's run through it again. We can still ad-lib a little bit. If you want, we could go straight on scene.
You want to go word for word, or?
We don't have to go word for word. Just as long as you guys understand what it is that you've studied. Now, for us, given the fact that we just wrote this a few minutes before recording, didn't give us enough time to study what was written down. Even though we came up with it, it's still important to study what's written down so you understand the conversation and where the conversation is going. It just so happens to be that Mr. Rufo and I understand where the conversation is going because we came up with the conversations ourselves for these two characters. So it's a lot easier for us to ad-lib and improv and go complete off book, but still stay within where the conversation is supposed to go. All right, so let's run through it again. Now at this point, guys, acting is not about putting on a front. It's not about, overdoing it. It's really, like I said last time we were on here, it's just about talking. That's it. You're just talking. You let your emotions play its course. Don't force any emotions out. Let your emotions play the course. What's up? What's going on?
What's up? How you doing?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm on.
You sure?
Yeah, I told you I'm on.
You don't look like you're all right, man. I don't normally see you like this.
You're always in the spotlight.
I'm always in the spotlight.
Yeah, you're always in the spotlight.
What do you mean by I'm always in the spotlight?
You're always on the light. You're always on the spotlight. Especially you getting the scholarship now.
This is about the scholarship.
Yeah. I'm better than you.
You're better than me. Okay, so if you feel like you're better than me, then why don't you have the scholarship then?
Because all my energy is spent taking care of you.
Taking care of me.
Yeah, because you.
What have you
I
done?
gotta
for
take
me?
care of mom, pops. I gotta spend all this time taking care of you.
This is why you feel like I'm always in the spotlight?
Yeah. I'm better than you in everything. Basketball, school, academically. But
So why don't you pass any of your classes then if you feel like you're better than me at everything?
Because I told you I gotta take care of you. I gotta work a job.
Yeah, but ain't
I gotta
nobody-
go to school.
Nobody asked you to take care of me. Nobody asked you to get a job. You wanted to do that. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to get a job.
Listen, man, I'm taking care of the family.
You taking care of the family. Well, I'm not asking you to take care of me. As far as it goes with mom and dad, you can take care of them. But I'm not the reason why you don't have the scholarship. Don't put that on me. You decided you wanted to get a job. You decided in your head you wanted to take care of me. I never asked you. Mom and dad never asked you to take care of them. You put all of that on yourself. And now you're going to blame me for why you don't have a scholarship? Now you're going to say I'm in the spotlight? Why? You don't feel like you're there?
Listen, man, I'm gonna start taking care of myself. I don't need you. Start taking care of myself, and I'm gonna get that scholarship that you earned. You heard? You stole that from me.
Okay.
All right, cut.
Now, that's the scene with that one. Now, notice how
Yeah, it was just
that first one that we did was completely different from this one. Now, keep in mind, guys, we went off book again. None of what we said was written down here. This is all based upon emotional responses, right? There was, when I asked him, what's up with you? Are you okay? I asked it differently than the first time I asked him. So because I asked it differently, it triggered him to give me a different answer, which then triggered me to give him a different response, which triggered him to give me another different response.
Yeah,
and it just kept
tough.
rolling down. It just kept going down that way, Now, again, once you guys understand what the conversation is about, where it's going, and your biggest wants, your overall wants, and your immediate wants, you could ad-lib as much as you want to. The playground is big and it's free for you to roam, just as long as you have those key factors in. Now, again, Mr. Rufo explained that due to his responsibilities, due to the fact that he's got a job, which he did not mention the first time we went around. He decided he was going to add that in himself. based upon an emotional response because of something that I said to him, right? I then responded by saying, well, don't put the blame on me. I didn't ask you to take care of me. Mom and dad never asked you to take care of them. You wanted to get that job. No one forced you. So then he implemented using, I got a job, I'm doing all of this. This is why I'm angry. This is why I feel like I'm better. I'm doing all of this. This is why I'm better. This is why I deserve that scholarship. He's basically saying that he's the better sibling because he's more responsible than me. And I basically told him, listen, I never asked you to do any of that for me. So we came off with a different argument. The first argument was that he was determined to tell me towards the end of that argument that he's going to get that scholarship. I stole it from him and it's his. The second argument ended up going down the road of, we came to the conclusion that he felt as though I stole something from him, or I'm sorry, he felt as though due to these responsibilities that he has is why he does not have the scholarship. And I explained to him that no one asked him to have all of these responsibilities. He decided to put that on himself. Now, the second time around that we went completely different than the first. So I want to ask you, Phil, given the fact that we did this the second time, how did you feel?
But more natural.
More natural?
More natural.
I want to ask, how did you feel what was going through your head when you decided to use, I got the job, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the one working. I'm doing this. Because you said a lot of things that were different from the first time when we did it.
Right.
So, and of course, I know because something that I said triggered something in you, but I noticed that you acted on that impulse, which was a good thing. But how did you feel when you that impulse came around and you accepted that impulse and you used it? How did you, what was going through your mind when that happened?
Yeah, like you said, we're improvising. You got to use whatever comes off your head.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing that came off my head, and I used it.
And he used it, just like that. Now I want to say, because he did that, we did the same thing. You took the opportunity to act on your impulse. I took the opportunity to act on my impulse, and the conversation ended up going down differently than the first go round. Of course, we talked about the same key concepts. He's more responsible. He feels as though he's got to take care of me. He feels as though he's better in everything, but I'm holding him back because he feels as though he has this major responsibility to hold when it comes to taking care of the younger brother. I want to say, guys, there's certain things that you want to look out for when you're in the moment of a scene. I said last time we were on here, don't get distracted by exterior things. Don't let anything on the outside distract you from playing your character. And the reason why I say that is because when you see this dialogue between Mr. Rufo and I, what we just did, it was something that happened, and you guys didn't really pick it up because we stayed focused on each other. But it was something that happened in the background, and I kind of wanted to look over, but it just would have took me out of that element of playing the character. And so, as a good example, you guys seen me do that last time we were here, where Mr. Brandley came in and I looked back and had the side conversation and got sidetracked from what I was supposed to be doing with you guys. And so this time I critiqued that and did not allow that outside distraction to play the course in our scene. So I want to say let's run it again. Now keep in mind, guys, when we run this, it's gonna go differently each and every single time. If you're doing it the right way, every single time you go through the scene over and over again, it's gonna be different. You're gonna come out with a different type of feeling. If you come out with the same feeling every time, something's not right. That means you're putting too much on it, and you're trying to control it. You can't control when it comes to being an actor. You have to just let it happen, spontaneous, just spontaneity. Let that play in. I'm getting tripped up with my words. Let whatever comes to you come to you. Don't force it. Let whatever comes to you come to you. Because then you do it 3 different times, you'll get 3 different outcomes of the scene. Okay? So let's run through it again. feel?
Right.
Now at this point, let's just do it like this. We're not gonna look at this because you had it the last two times. So we're gonna scrap this paper. We're gonna get rid of it. We're not even gonna look at it. So right now, completely improv. And we're just gonna see what happens with this, right? This is all part of the rehearsal process. You do it a couple times. You talk to one another to explain to each other how you felt, what you were feeling going through it. Again, given the fact that in our imaginations we're supposed to be in a locker room, there are different things that we can use to play with, as far as props, things that we can use to help our imaginations better. But unfortunately, we're not in the locker room. Of course, in our minds we are, but ultimately, physically, they're like we don't have anything that we could actually use as prop to give the scene that we're in an actual locker room. So all we can actually do at this moment is just sit across from each other and give off dialogue. So we're gonna run it again. This third time will be different from the previous two. Pay close attention. Now in this third theme, guys, in this third scene, complete improv. Pay close attention to how we give off this dialogue. Pay close attention because it's going to be completely different from the script. I'm not even going to say what the script is supposed to say. This is just a clear, active watching and listening tool. This is an exercise as an actor. Ready? What's going on, man? Why are you looking at me like that?
Looking at you like what?
You're just looking at me like you're curious about something.
I look at you, no how.
It doesn't seem like that, man. And then you keep looking away when something's not right.
I'm alright, man.
You sure? It looked like something's bothering you.
I told you, I'm alright.
All right.
You think you something big now? You think
I'm
you're a
something
big
big?
shot now, huh?
I think I'm a big shot.
Yeah, you.
How was that?
You know how.
Well, obviously I don't know how if I'm asking you the question, man.
Think you got a big ego or something since you got that scholarship.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna take it there. That's why you're sitting like that? That's why you're giving me this body language, slouching on the chair? Keep looking away, that's why? You feel as though I have this big ego because I have a scholarship?
Listen, man, I'm better than you in basketball. I'm better than you in anything. Academics, taking care of the fam.
You think I don't take care of the family?
No. I'm over here working going to school. After school, I gotta work. I gotta come pick you up.
Wait, first of all, I never asked you to pick me up. Secondly, you decided you wanted to take that job.
Listen, I'm the older brother. You the little brother.
And what does that mean?
I gotta take care of the fam.
So you feel like you're obligated to take care of everybody because you're the older sibling?
Yeah.
No one asked you to take care of anybody. You decided to put that in your head. I don't have that responsibility?
Nah.
I'm doing just about everything you're doing.
Doing what?
Everything.
Practicing.
I'm in school. If you feel like your grades are better, why don't you have an A?
So I gotta take care of the fam.
Because you got to take care of the fam. We live in the same household. I look after mom and dad.
But all you gotta do is focus on playing basketball.
And that's my fault?
No, it's not your fault. But I'm letting you know I'm better than you. And you know that.
Okay.
That's my scholarship.
All right, well, if it's your scholarship, then you got to get it, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna get it.
All right,
I'm gonna get that scholarship.
But I got the scholarship now.
I know. But you best believe by the end of the year I'm gonna have a scholarship.
All right, okay.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. No,
We'll
we
see.
will see.
Oh yeah, you
We
bet
will
that.
see. We will see.
You best believe that.
All right. Now, it was. I got you to say that it wasn't my fault. Now, see, if you could pick at your partner well enough, you could get them to kind of give up that piece, right? So I was trying to corner him. Sometimes when you guys are acting like, and this was just the fun part of this one, this third go round. We completely threw the book out, didn't look at the script, but we still remembered some of the key factors in it, so we still used it. But we had a little bit of fun, right? Mm-hmm. So I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if I could get you to say that it wasn't my fault, and it helped. It worked. But he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth, and he ended up adding more to it and say, well, because I have a job. I work. I'm the older sibling. He explained that he's the older sibling once again, why he has this why he put on so much responsibility on himself. I went on and said, well, no one asked you to do that. I'm basically doing everything you're doing, right? But he mentioned that he had a job. I never said that I was working too. Mm-hmm. He said all I have to worry about is just basketball, which is true, right? But at the same time, I also mentioned that, well, hey, you took this on for yourself. No one asked you to go do this. You decided to do this. So in my truth, if it got to the point when if you would have ever asked me the question that I asked you that made you say that, no, you're right, it's not my fault. Because I asked you, I said, well, is it my fault? And you said no, right? If it came down to the point when you said, well, do you feel like you have more responsibilities than me? Now I would be truthful and say, well, you know what? You're right, because I'm not working like you are. But I end up saying that I take care of mom and dad just as much as he does, right? So sometimes, guys, especially when you're improvising, it's also important to just be truthful in your work of acting. And at the same time, when you know that you're supposed to be portraying a certain character, like his character was a true one, because most people can relate to his character. Whenever there's two siblings, one sibling, is always gonna, and it's not always like that, but one sibling will end up doing something, and the other sibling will kind of feel like a little jealousy, but they have a reason for it. He explained his reasonings 3 times, because we went over this scene 3 times, because he felt as though, due to the fact that he has more responsibility than me, this is why he does not receive a scholarship. But because he has this responsibility is the reason why he feels he is completely better than me, right? So in retrospect, that is true, because you take on more than my character. So it makes you the better man, mm-hmm. right? But then the overall point of this scene is the older brother is jealous because he didn't receive the scholarship. And he was letting little brother know why. And that was because of the responsibilities that he had. So I want to ask you, Phil, how did you feel going through that third scene?
I felt like that was the best one.
It was the best one because it went completely out the window.
Yeah.
And
it was straight improv.
Before you continue, I want to say at one point, guys, or a few times, I was smirking a little bit, like I was laughing. Like that's all complete natural responses right there, because it was something that you did and it was kind of funny to me, and I started laughing. You could use that within your character. You can, because then it could look like my character is like an A. I don't want to. This is PG. But it could look like my character, wow, you're so ungrateful. You're laughing at your older brother. You're smiling, you're smirking at your older brother because he's expressing the fact that he has this responsibility to him. So you can make your character look a certain way based upon your actual given emotions or your reaction. Mr. Rufo said something that made me smile, and I smirked while I was giving off my lines to him. So if you paid close attention, and you kind of did the same thing a little bit, but in what I got from when you did it, it just made me feel like, wow, this guy's crazy. I said, oh man, this guy's, he's about to knock my head off. You know what I mean? So there's ways that when you guys use what you're actually feeling, don't hide it. Let it play the course. Let it play. Because you never know where it could take your character. Right? You never know. So you were saying?
Yeah, it just felt more lively. Mm-hmm. More lively. It was the best one. That third one.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Yeah.
It was fun too, and I enjoyed it.
It was definitely fun. And that's very important, guys. You want to leave yourself open to letting any emotions that you feel, whether if you feel like laughing to the roof, having a little smile, or if you feel like you want to be serious, let anything go. Just let it all play the course, because you never know where it could take your character. Right? Mm-hmm. just like you said, I had fun doing that third one.
Right.
Because it went complete off the book. And if you guys recall in the beginning of that last scene, I even asked him the question differently. I paid more attention to his body language and his eye movement. He was staring at me a certain way, and I couldn't understand why. So I asked him, why does your eyes look like that? I asked him, well, why are you slouched over on the chair? I paid more attention to his body language. Because again, guys, acting is relative, it's parallel to real life. If you see that something is wrong with someone and you're asking them that question, what's wrong? But you see their body language is giving a complete different response than what they're actually telling you, you know something's not adding up. So if I'm asking Mr. Rufo, who was playing John, the older brother, something's wrong with the older brother. He's not happy about something. He may say he's fine, but his body language can speak differently. So it's very important that, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to your body language.
Right.
You're saying you're okay, but it doesn't look like it. So that's important to pick off, right? And that was completely different from the last two times because I didn't mention his body language in the last two times, in the previous two times that we did the scene. In the third scene, I wanted to pay more attention to his body language and match what he's saying versus his physical movement. And as actors, guys, it's very important that you match up not just what the person's saying, because their words could say anything. They could say, I'm fine, and you could believe it. But then everyone else who's watching can know that, wait, he's not fine. Something's not right. You have to be able to read their body language. So you have to use those two also. It's not just the words, guys, but it's how those words are being put out there. It's how the body languages are. And it's important that you see that and you use that within your craft of acting. All right? Phil.
Yeah, great workout.
Great man. Good. Great work.
Great workout,
guys,
and great work.
Yes.
Today.
Next time, I will bring in, Mr. Rufo and I were talking about this, I will bring in a side. It's a piece from an audition that I had a while ago that you helped me with.
Right.
And we will bring that in because it actually has a fixed dialogue, and I will explain to you guys what it is, and then we will run through that scene on that day. All right, so without further ado, on behalf of Linden Recreation, I'm Mr. Bernie.
Mr. Rufo.
Mr. Rufo right here with me, and we will see you guys next time on Who's Your Hollywood. All right, have a good one, guys.